I'm Mikaela
And I'm Zoe
with our Hawaii Children and Youth Day, and we're here at Kualoa Ranch with our very own co-host, Genshu Price of Bottles for College.
Hi Genshu, can you share with us about your organization and the event that's happening right now?
Sure. So Bottles for College is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that collects recyclable cans and bottles to create a scholarship program for other kids here in Hawaii. So in the background behind us, we have an Earth Day event we have right now where we're storing cans and bottles collected by our partner and site sponsor, Kualoa Ranch. We have other organizations with us helping us today. We have LBE Hawaii and For Ocean that we're partnering with to make this possible. So initially, we're an organization that not only helps our environment here on the islands, but we also help the keiki and our generations now and generations to come.
Awesome. Well, what inspired you to just start all of this, first of all?
Well, it's kind of a long story. So to make it short, when I was 10 years old, my dad created an idea to have me collect 1 million cans and bottles to fund my own college tuition. And then after the first drop-off, I noticed a few things. One, it would take forever for me to get even close to 1 million. And two, there's so much more potential for this to become more. So I innovated that idea into what Bottles for College is now. So it's for other students to help them get through all 4 years of basic college. So that's kind of like my inspiration. And also just because I really want to help the people in the classroom, because I know it's a lot of the students I have in my classroom that I'm learning with, they're not really excited about learning. They're not really seeing the purpose of it, which I want that to change.
Awesome.
How much bottles did you start out with, and how much bottles have you collected altogether?
Well, our first drop-off at a recycling center was about 2,000, a little under 2,000 cans and bottles. And since then, we've grown by over 250,000%, and we've collected over 500,000 cans and bottles now in April of 2022.
That's so awesome. Well, since you collect so much, how can we improve our recycling or yeah?
Well, one way that we try to make sure we get the most out of each bag of cans and bottles that we bring to the recycling center. One is to crush all the cans. Two is to make sure that you crush the bottles as much as possible too. And then three, we're always trying to improve. So we use these big silo bags instead of plastic bags. So we help improve our sustainability. And then we also get, we get to reuse them. They're a lot bigger, and they're just so cool to bring to the recycling center because you bring this one giant bag and everyone's just amazed that we're bringing this humongous bag to the recycling center.
How do you sort the bottles and cans?
Well, it's pretty easy after you get the hang of it. So you sort by plastic bottles, aluminum bottles, bimetal or aluminum cans, bimetal cans, and glass. We've actually had this weird can bottle thing, but that's a different story. So for plastic bottles, it's by 17 fluid ounces and lower, and 17.1 fluid ounces and higher. So you have to make sure to take the caps off, make sure that it says the HI5 sign. Something weird about the Hawaii state law is that any bottle over that's bigger than 68 fluid ounces actually cannot be redeemed at a recycling center. So hopefully one day we hope that can be changed, but right now we're trying to work with that cap. For aluminum cans, it's pretty simple. You can just have to separate it from the bimetal cans, and once you get the hang of it, it's very easy to see, okay, this one's bimetal, this one's aluminum. And glass, you just gotta make sure that the caps are off, and for all bottles, you gotta make sure it's recyclable, HI5, and that there's no liquid or debris in the can or bottle.
That sounds very complicated.
It's a lot easier than it sounds, really.
Can you share with us how you recycle these cans and bottles?
Sure. So here's a display that we bring to all of our events, kind of showcasing how we recycle. So at the very end near you, we have glass bottles. So glass bottles is pretty simple. You sometimes have to sort them by color. Size doesn't matter, and you just gotta make sure the lids are off. Then you have bimetal and aluminum. So this is aluminum cans. If you want to see, it's very easy to crush. Well, if you try to crush bimetal, it's pretty much impossible.
So that's
to
how you
crush
tell
it.
the difference, right?
Yes, and there's also ridges on the side of bimetal and not ridges on the side of aluminum.
Okay, I see.
And then plastic bottles is also sorted by two different ways. So you have big bottles and small bottles. Small bottles is 17 fluid ounces and lower, and big bottles is 17.1 fluid ounces and higher. So that way we're able to get more money, so we're able to send kids to college a little faster that way. And then over here we have some of our unredeemable stuff, which includes anything over 68 fluid ounces. Here in the state of Hawaii, we have a law that says any bottle over 68 fluid ounces cannot be redeemed at a recycling center. So pretty much we have a cap of how much we can, of like how big of a bottle we can recycle. And then anything that's not liquid or a beverage cannot be redeemed as well. So like this gelato thing.
Oh, so you can't take that in then, yeah?
No, and then we separate all the lids and we actually give them to some different partner organizations. So we have a lid right here kind of showing like, hey, we separate these as well.
What organizations do you like give the lids to?
We work with like Parlay TV, which is at, they have an air station at Bishop Museum. And we work with some other local organizations like that kind of like just give back to the community and stuff as well.
Awesome.
Can we help?
Yeah, sure. I mean, mostly big bottles. Mostly. One of our biggest partners is actually Kualoa Ranch, and they're actually the reason why we're able to be doing this event right now because they're our site sponsor, and they also are one of our biggest customers for Cans and Bottles. So I wanted to bring in Miss Stephanie to kind of say like, hey, she's one of the main people we work with organizing these events. So I just wanted to thank you for letting us like be here today, but also like just overall like allowing us to be partnering with Kualoa Ranch and your sustainability program.
We are so happy to support the Bottles for College mission, and we're just so happy to have you guys out here and be able to do the great work and continue along that path of just collecting the bottles and cans to help our local keiki. You know, we collect bottles and cans through our tourism operation, but if you have bottles and cans that you want to bring anytime, you can just bring them to our Kualoa Grown Market, and we'll give them to Bottles for College so we can keep the mission alive. So thank you so much for being so passionate and dedicated towards the mission, because really we're supporting you and Bottles for College, and we are just happy that we can provide a venue and also deposits as well.
Oh, thank you. Very grateful for this partnership.
Yeah, well, how can we donate to your organization? This is so awesome that you're doing this for Hawaii. So what can we do to help?
Well, there's quite a few ways that people can get involved. One of the simplest ways is just telling your friends and family, hey, I found out about Bottles for College, kind of explain to them what it is. You can collect your cans and bottles or donate them to one of our public drop-off depots, recycling drives, or we even do residential pickups for bigger loads. You can follow us on social medias at Bottles for College with the number 4. Donate it to us through monetary donations, which will help us take care of transportation costs and other operational costs, and also help us get to the next level so we can really get to that point where we're substantially bringing Hawaii students to college. And of course, just always advocating for your environment and the education.
Awesome.
That's great. What's your end goal for Bottles for College?
Well, for Bottles for College, there really is no end goal because it's a continuous program. So our basic goal is to create a system where each year we collect 2 to 4 million cans and bottles. So annually, 1 to 2 Hawaii students get a full 4 year to college. And that's actually a lot easier than it sounds if we get to a certain size of the organization, because there's over 900 million cans and bottles being sold in Hawaii each year. But less than 25% of them gets recycled. So it's out there. But we just have to get to the point where we can get as many as we have to get.
Well, since this year's theme is Aloha, what does Aloha mean to you?
For me, Aloha means to have a chance to be able to give back to the others around you in your community, and then just keep on reciprocating those good vibes and really giving back as much as you can.
Why do you support Hawaii Children and Youth Day?
Well, Hawaii Children and Youth Day, I actually started off being involved with this organization by interviewing people like how you guys are doing for Olelo Community Media. And then eventually, I got just more interested into it because it's about the children and youth, and that's kind of what Bottles for College is about. So really, as we're these two, my organization, Hawaii Children and Youth Day, we're kind of advocating for the children and youth. So that's really why it's important to me.
That's awesome. Well, that's all the questions we have for you today.
Yes, thank you for coming on Hawaii Children and Youth Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Genshu.
Mahalo. Aloha.
Aloha.
To me, aloha is respecting and trusting my family, friends, neighbors, and peers.
Aloha, it's Genshu Price.
And Zoe
And I'm Mikaela Freitas.
We're here with Miss Rebecca from Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii at the Earth Day Festival here at Waimanalo Beach Park.
Hi, Auntie. Can you share with us about this event and your organization?
Sure, we're Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii. We're a nonprofit based here on Oahu. We've been around for about 10 years, and we're known for our large-scale beach cleanups. And we also do education and outreach, helping to stop plastic pollution that washes up here and get people involved to making a difference.
That's so amazing. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
And how often do you guys clean the beaches?
Yeah, we do about 4 or 5 large-scale cleanups a year, and then we also do smaller cleanups with students and businesses, maybe almost 100 times a year. We do a lot, probably at least 1 or 2 a week. So we definitely like to get out and be on the beach and get active.
How can the community help with your organization?
Yes, we like to make sure that there's something for everyone. So we say keiki to kapuna, everybody's allowed, everybody's welcome. If you're not volunteering, we encourage people to learn about the issue, learn about plastic pollution, maybe what you're finding at home that you could replace with something that's not a single-use plastic. And also just spread the word, right? Just make sure that everybody knows that we can make a difference. Yeah.
What kind of weird stuff have you found on the beach?
I love that question. So some of the weirder things we found, one time we found a giant Barbie doll head that washed up. We also found a lot of the G.I. Joe figurines, things that we call plastic glomerates. So it's basically a blob of plastic that's been melted together and washes up on our beaches. Yeah.
That's crazy. How can people stay safe while cleaning up the beach?
Yes, definitely important. We want to make sure people are aware of their surroundings. So days like today, it's windy. You could have things like the Portuguese man-o-war washing up.
Yeah.
Also, we want to make sure wildlife are extra protected. So sometimes we see Hawaiian monk seals or sea turtles. We want to make sure you keep at least 50 feet distance. And if you ever come across anything sharp or dangerous looking, we recommend that you ask an adult to help remove it. Use gloves and just always be aware of what's around you.
Now, Steamboat Coastlines has been around for pretty much really over a decade, which is absolutely amazing. Can you tell me about maybe one of your favorite events or moments you've had with this organization?
Sure, yes. In 2018, I was very lucky to go on a beach cleanup with Greenpeace to the island of Kualoa. So it's a place where no one lives, but it's being worked to protect and restore natural habitat. So because of the location with the wind and the currents, it also receives a lot of marine debris washing up. So we worked for 2 days with a team of about 10 people. Kirk and PKO, which help to protect the island year-round, joined us, and we removed at least a few tons.
Oh, wow.
But definitely want to go back one day. So it's a very special place, and I was really, really lucky to be able to go over there to do a beach cleanup.
That's amazing. Now, what is some of Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii's goals for the future to strengthen your help that you're trying to provide the community?
Sure, yes. So we really want to get everyone involved in this work, no matter if it's a beach cleanup or education. We also have a compost machine we just opened this year in Waimanalo, and we want to invite people to visit to see how you can divert food waste into soil and being able to grow our own food so we can be less dependent on plastic. So instead of our food waste being sent to H-Power here on island where it gets incinerated, you can actually grow a garden and have healthy food and healthy soil.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's great.
Well, another question I have for you is, this year's theme is Aloha, so what does that mean to you?
That's an awesome question. I think for me, Aloha means to be kind and to love everyone.
Yeah.
So putting it into practice and really getting out a day like, we can go out and clean the beach and get our community, our friends involved. But also when things are hard and we don't really know what to do, to figure out a way to take care of the place you're in and the people you're with. So finding a way to connect and to make it your responsibility to bring good to the situation.
Have you participated with Hawaii Children and Youth Day in the past?
This is the first year, so we're super grateful to all of you. Thank you for getting connected with this event and being able to spread the awareness of this work to more children and youth. And we always say that the youth are the voice, right? You have a huge impact on what happens in this work and in this world. So thank you all for setting a great example and the work that you're doing to continue to make this all a better place.
Well, thank you so much for your time and all Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii's hard work to help our communities.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha!
Hey everyone!
everyone, it's Mikaela
And Zoe,
and we are still here at the Sustainable Coastline Cleanup, and we have Uncle Ray and Auntie Jan with us over here, and they're going to teach us how to clean up and pick up all the microplastics. So I see you guys have this machine here, so how does that work?
So this is a system that I created to remove microplastics, because when you're using a screen and you're sifting the material, a lot of the smaller stuff is going to fall through. That bothered me, so I wanted to make something that removed everything. So by just using ocean water, we're able to remove the smallest of microplastics by just circulating it through the system, and we'll show you over here.
So we at the Hawaii Pacific University Center for Marine Debris Research are quantifying the amount of plastics in the ocean. And so we want to know how much of those tiny little plastics are here so that we can understand their impacts and try to prevent this from happening in the first place. So step one is you guys already collected 2 gallons of sand, and we targeted the sand that had a lot of plastics in it. So we would go like this and add it to our bucket, but we don't have to hand pick it, right? So we're gonna pick up those 2 buckets and we're gonna put it in the top tray.
Ray over here.
Just pour it in.
Oh my God.
And right away, you already see that the plastics float to the top, right?
Yeah.
See these guys here?
Well, now you get to hold these tubes.
So you just like,
So you're just going to put it in the sand and like stir it up. We're going to turn it on real quick so there'll be water circulating through.
so
And you can show people how it's coming out like this. So you're just going to stick it down in the sand, and that's going to agitate the sand, letting the plastics float up to the top, okay? Here, go ahead and...
Do we just dump it in there?
So it'll cascade over naturally like on its own, but you can help it with your hand. You see how it's water falling? So the gravity is just going to pull it over.
ooh, look at that.
Oh my. I think I saw like there are like bits and pieces of
How long did it like take you to come up with this idea? That's really cool.
This honestly took me around just a month, 2 months to create it. It was really quick. I just went to a hardware store and just looked at all of the parts that were around and just assembled it kind of like in my mind and put it all together.
That's really cool.
But this one is the 3rd prototype that I've created. So I had 2 before it. But this one's my favorite. It's much smaller, it's easier, it's lighter.
How did the other ones work?
The other ones worked in the same exact way. They were just bigger wheelbarrows.
They wouldn't fit in my little car, so I asked Ray to please make me a smaller one that would fit in my little hatchback car. And he did it! And this is the one that fits in my car with my daughter in the car seat in the back. It's great!
This is like a go-to.
Wow, look at how many plastic.
Thank you.
The ocean looks so clean, but when you like actually clean it out, it looks so dirty.
Do you guys see much more coming up and out?
Yeah.
I think you've pretty much cleaned it, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's done, so we can turn the pump off. And we'll put these down in here. The hoses can go down there. And now you're gonna tilt this up and let the water all fall into the bottom.
You want to do it, kind of slow, and you don't want like the sand to pour over. A little bit's okay though.
Yep, just keep going until all the water's out. And then we get to inspect this beautifully clean sand. Look at that, 2 gallons of sand that doesn't have microplastics in it. Isn't that wonderful?
So
There we go.
So we're gonna set this to the side. Maybe Ray will pick it up and move it out of the way.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's more than I thought that was in the sand.
So
Just those 2 gallons.
Alone?
what is that?
Plastic.
It's a big piece.
Wow.
Do you know what these guys are?
No, what are they?
You seen that? You see how it kind of looks like a lentil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is called a nurdle, and what it is it's a virgin plastic pellet. So this comes from the manufacturing plant, and this is a pre-production piece of plastic. So it's never been used for anything. And in the shipping process, sometimes they get lost out at sea. So they come in almost all the same size, or kind of shape, excuse me, but the size will be a little different. And they're mostly going to be white, but you can find them in black too.
And blue and yellow and
This
I've never
green.
seen it. Oh, really cool. That's not one. Let's see, where's
That
it?
one's
That's a
over.
fragment.
There's one over here.
So larger plastic items are
Yep.
fragmenting into this piece, right? This is not microplastics, because microplastics are defined as something below 5 millimeters. This is like 1 centimeter. This is really big. The nurdles are right at the maximum size for microplastics. And then there are plastics in here that our naked eye cannot see, but we'll be able to measure them with our instruments at the lab and tell you guys how many pieces of plastic and grams of plastic were in that 2 gallons that you just cleaned.
What is this?
Cigarette butt.
Oh
I
no.
think it is. Yep, it is.
Terrible.
No
No smoking. No smoking.
We will strain it out into a strainer. We'll take this back to the lab, and Ray invented another machine called the trash time machine that will separate the plant matter away from the plastics, making it really easy for us to grab the plastics, measure them, look at their sizes, their shapes, their colors, what polymer they make up, because there's hundreds of different kinds of plastics out there in production. And all of that data will go into a database. And every time we come out to the beach, we know how many gallons of sand, we know the location and the date, and we'll keep doing this until there's no more plastic left on the beach, and we'll keep entering it into our database, and we sure hope to see the plastic concentrations declining through time as all these efforts out here for removal and prevention.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
This is
Thank
so
you.
fun.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you pick up plastic every time you see one in the ocean.
And every time you see someone picking up plastic, ask how you can help.
That's right. Oh, it's great to meet you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Mahalo. Mahalo.
I was born in 1928. I have my name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I am the 6th character with my name on the Walk of Fame. Do you know who I am?
I'm not sure. Could you maybe give me like one more hint?
My boyfriend is Mickey.
Is it Minnie Mouse?
Yeah!
Oh, no way. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
I'm doing good. So, I got a few questions for you. One, how is it being like one of the biggest characters of animation to date?
Everybody knows my name, and I just love it. They just come and hug me, and it feels really wonderful feeling all their love.
That's awesome. So, I have a question for you as a cosplayer yourself. Like, how long have you been cosplaying?
Well, not too long, but it's been awfully fun.
That's awesome. So, have you been a part of Hawaii Children Youth Day before?
Yes, I have.
You
I
have?
had most fun at the Capitol as we walked around, and I was with Mickey. He's not here today.
That's nice. So this year's theme is Aloha. What does that word mean to you?
Aloha means love. Love and respect. I just love everything around me. My best friends are Clara, the cow, and Daffy Duck. We just love to hang out together. I even take my niece, Millie,
you have a message to our Kikian youth that may be watching?
Respect your elders. Love everyone. Everyone in Hawaii are from many different places, just like me. I was a farmer. My dad used to be a farmer, as well as my two uncles. We came from a long line of working on the farm and the plantation. So, if everyone can accept each other and love each other, we will all live as one family.
That's a great message. That kind of reminds me of our sugarcane era here in Hawaii. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the Hawaii Children Youth Day YouTube show. Thank you, and aloha.
My love.
To me, aloha means love, kindness, peace, and taking care of your community. Spread the aloha.